Hi guys, it's Jen here at Check Her Joy, and this time I'm reviewing Will Grayson by John Green and David Levithan. I don't know how to pronounce his name, sorry. Um, and this book is about two teenage boys who are both named Will Grayson. Pretty sure they're both high school juniors. And they live close to Chicago, like they're an hour away from each other, but they've never met when the book starts. So this book is told through alternating narratives. So every other chapter is narrated by one Will, and then the other chapters are narrated by the other Will. But it's pretty well done, and it's not really confusing until they actually meet, and then you're like, wait, which Will is it? So the first Will we're introduced to, the odd-numbered Will, is this upper middle class family. Both his parents are doctors, so they're around but super busy with work all the time. And this Will has two roles. One, don't care too much, and two, just shut up. He's kind of cautious to indifferent about a lot of things. Like, he tries to play it off like he's indifferent and he doesn't care about things. But he does care a lot. He's just very cautious about showing it. So this Will is best friends with a character named Tiny Cooper, who is this very tall, very wide, and very gay best friend. Tiny is very open about the fact that he is gay, and he is constantly in love with a new guy like every other day. Um, and he's kind of very optimistic and hopeful kind of person. And Tiny's also important because he's putting on this musical about his life called A Tiny Dancer. And I love him terribly. I kept picturing Tiny as being Titus from The Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, so it's totally fun, and I love him as a character. Will and Tiny also have another friend, Jane, who becomes important, who is just like totally obsessed with music. She's part of the Gay Straight Alliance at their school with Tiny. And I love her terribly also as character. The even numbered Will, the second Will we meet, is very much a loner. He's kind of pessimistic about everything. He's gloomy, he has depression. The second Will comes from this lower middle class family. It's just him and his mom. His mom was working all the time to support them. Will also has to get a job to work at CVS to support their family. So it's not the easiest life. So at school, this Will only has one friend, really, which is Maura, who is also very gloomy, goth type chick. And the two of them are kind of this awful relationship together. Like, they're friends because there's nobody else really to be friends with. And Maura's also kind of very opinionated. Like, she thinks that she should be dating Will because they're friends, and she likes Will. But Will's not into Maura. Will's gay, but hasn't told anybody. And he's like, I can't, like, he kind of is reluctantly in this relationship with her. Like, he doesn't, like, she's not the person he would pick if he was gonna pick anybody in school to be friends with, but it kind of just happened. Like, she's the only one who can deal with his mood swings, and I don't know, it's so strange. Will is also dating online this guy named Isaac, and the Will with Isaac is completely different. Like, he's hopeful, and he's incredibly over the moon in love, and he's happy. And the two of them together is so kind of cute and awesome. But their worlds completely change when the two Wills meet each other, and partially, like, not just the fact that they meet each other, but the events that are going on in their lives and the points at which they meet are kind of this huge minor climax, I guess. So without spoiling the story, the fact that they meet and they kind of get each other through some tough times, and Tiny becomes this big part of both Will's lives and helping them evolve and change and figure out who they are, and Tiny has to figure out who he is. It's a high school book, so lots to figure out what they are, what they believe in. So I love this book. It was a fun ride. I really love Tiny is probably my favorite character out of this whole book. Both Wills are okay. Kind of like the first Will we meet more. It's not really fun to, the second Will is very depressed and not quite as engaging. And Yeah. The second Will writes with like weird punctuation and doesn't use capital letters, which took some getting used to, but like after by the end of the first chapter with him, I was like on board with it and okay with it. And it does show a lot about his character through those choices. So there's my review for Will Grayson, Will Grayson by John Green and David Levithan. Totally go check it out. That's it, I guess. Uh, peace out. I love you guys and keep reading. Bye.